Bonjour Watcher, this is Johnny Banger 45 and welcome back to the Book of Grisaia. In the last episode, Sachi's gone missing here for unknown reason. Where she missing? As long as these two are together, I probably don't have to worry about her doing anything reckless. Okay, I'm going to head out and look for Sachi.
あんたも気をつけなさいよ。最近は変なやつが多いんだから。
Right. Answering Michiru's anxious words with a nod, I walked out Sakaki, who's been standing a little apart from the rest of the group. Given the light that on the soldier, I leaned and spoke in a low voice. Sakaki, if something comes out while I'm gone, I want you to take charge.
なんで私が
Because I trust your judgment in a crisis and want Michiru to lose their heads and try to do something reckless, I depend on you to step in and stop them.
相変わらずずるい言い方だ。
Yeah, sorry about that. That's why I love Yumiko Sakaki. Taking note of the slight redness in Sakaki's cheeks, I leave the room at the run, suddenly taking my master for her inside. Alright, first problem is, where do I start? I don't know why Sachi vanished or where she went this afternoon. I officially got nothing in the way of specific clues to work off. Even then, my only real option is to spectacular best of a normal pattern of activity, but I have no expert there. I expect another look in the classroom. After a brisk journey to the school, when I peeked into our classroom, my house pounding more from the tension than the exercise. Inside the dark and totally empty. Not here after all. But still, there's always a possibility that Sachi will wander in here while I'm out looking for her. To protect against the risk that we'll pass on each other, I should leave a message of some sort. Maybe a thick piece of paper from a supply closet. I write Sachi, if you see this, head back to the dorm right away. In a large letter with a prominent marker. That done, I secure the note in the middle of the blackboard with a few pieces of tape. That should do it. More later, my cell phone rings, surely in my pocket. That you, Chizuru?
小峰さんの保護者と話せたから連絡しようと思って。できる限り表立った動きは控えてほしいと言っていたけど、最終的な判断は学園に任せるとのことだったわ。
I see. From the sound of it, that Sachi's family does indeed have some complicated circumstances of their own. So what's the next step for you?
まずは県内の警察署に片っ端から連絡して、女の子を保護した話がないか確認するわ。
I see. Same thing you pulled when I arrived here.
うちの学生はいろんな意味で有名だから、話は早いはずよ。
Good to hear, I think.
それでも手がかりが得られなかった場合は、正式に捜索願いを出すことになるでしょうけどね。
Right. Hypothetically speaking, if Sachi's left, the prefecture, the larger scale efforts involving sheer numbers of and brute force will become unnecessary.
その間も、あなたは一人で小峰さんを探すつもり？
I'm the one who promised to meet up with her. I got a responsibility to find out what happened.
そうね。それじゃあ、また何か動きがあったら連絡するわ。
Appreciate it. Hopefully that will get us some information. On the other hand, if she comes out empty, we run smack into a demoralizing dead end. Unless of course I find a new lead first. For now, all I need is thinking about. Alright, guess I will see if the others have any ideas about places such as frequent. This tension reminds me of the job, but unlike those neatly defined missions, it's a frustrating hunt in the dark, looking blindly for clues. And this time, I'm not chasing down some faceless target. I never know. The person I'm searching for is a classmate of Fran. Pressing the set with my eyes spinning down the hallway, trying to drown out my uneasiness from this mindless motion. Oh, already? New day.
Yuuji!
This time, Pusha opened the front door. My champion should rush out expectantly.
どうサチは見つかったのよ。
Sachi, where did she go missing? No, I tried everywhere you suggested she might go, and all the public alley spots I could think of, but no sign of her.
じゃあ、学園長からの連絡は？
She let me know that none of the police station in the prefectures are looking after the girl. Nothing since then. Understandably, now the truth goes down fast as I speak. Sakaki Amane might have hung back instead of rushing out to interrogate me, but it seems the news has similar effect on them. I heard small frustrated signs from their direction.
だったらもう一度探しに行くのよ。外も明るくなってきたし、今度私も一緒に手伝うのよさ。
Even before the words are out of her mouth, Makina skanking at my sleeve with impatient little jerks.
待ってマキナ。さっちゃんのことが心配なのはわかるけど、少しユージも休ませてあげよう。一晩中外を探してくれてたんだしさ。
そうだったのよさ。自分勝手なことばかり言ってごめんなさいなのよ、お兄ちゃん。
お兄ちゃん No, there's nothing to apologize for. That's a natural reaction. Doesn't matter how much I spend outside, there's no getting around the fact that I identify Sachi.
それからユージはこれで体拭いて。
Appreciate it. Catching the towel when it tosses my direction, I wipe for rain waters for my hair and shoulders.
それが終わったらお風呂に入って体を温めること。最悪シャワーでもいいから。
Don't really feel like it right now.
気分じゃなくても入るの。いくら体力に自信があったって風邪をひいちゃう可能性はあるんだから。
Alright. Her argument was logical and she delivered it with such a painful stoic expression that I can't bring myself to be stubborn.
雨強くなってきたわね。
Gazing out the front windows into a grey sky, Amane mutters to no one in particular. The rain started falling a little before dawn and hasn't let out since. If anything, the sound of water drumming against the building seems to grow louder with the passage of time.
そっち、ちゃんと雨風をしのいでるといいのだけど。
大丈夫だって。もし外にいるとしたら傘くらい買ってるわよ。
きっとそうなのよさ。
Somebody breaks the silence, making some new concern that pushes waves into their minds. Someone left offers their best attempt at soothing words, and we left listen to the rain once more. Since by the time we repeated this pattern more times than I can count. A little after 9, she drew the call to let me know she's beginning formal notice to the police. It's been nearly 4 hours since then. Since we decided to rely on the authorities, the most helpful thing you can do is to keep calm and stay out of the way. Police are fundamentally superior in terms of manpower and investigation. On top of it, they have a critical advantage of socialization, tension, authority. In other words, we can let the professionals take care of the rest. Completely understandable judgment for the principal to make, objectively, so probably the wisest choice course of action. But however rational it may seem, sitting down around quietly like this proving very hard to stomach. I spent longer than this time standing on by the job, but it feels completely different this time. The anxiety and frustration swirling around inside me seems to be growing exponentially with every hour that ticks by. It increasingly a struggle to maintain my cool. So what are you going to do?
では17時にいつもの場所でお待ちしています。
Usual pace. Sachi defined say those exact words to me just a few feet from where I was sitting. And when Sakaki Amane went to a room to investigate, they didn't find any evidence she wanted to off on some spur of the moment journey. The girl does have a slightest whimsical side, but it's hard to imagine her taking a trip without even packing a change of clothes.
サチったらどこに行っちゃったのよ。
Suddenly lifting up from the sofa, Michiru breaks the silence. Her voice tingling with something close to desperation.
こんなに心配かけて。帰ってきたらみんなの部屋の掃除くらいじゃ許さないんだから。
みちる。
それにサチがいなくなってもう1日になるし、きっとお腹もグーグー鳴ってるはずなのよ。
グーグー。
さっちゃんが何をしてるにしてもきっと食事くらいはとってるわよ。
本当なのよ。
Yeah, Wallace wasn't in a room apparently. She got money to eat at least.
それならよかったのよさ。
ただ何かの事件に巻き込まれている場合はその限りじゃないでしょうけどね。
ちょっとユミコ、縁起でもないこと言わないでよ。
でもその可能性がないとは言えないでしょ。
それは。
Michiru falls back into an awkward silence. Nobody comes and say until now, but we have been taking something out of the sort. We all know Sakaki's right. Considering such a personality, it's hard to imagine she vanished without a word, and the completely normal condition of her room makes this even a stranger. No matter how much I want to deny it, there's a very real possibility something happened to her.
じゃあサチンは悪い人に連れて行かれちゃったのよ。大丈夫よ。まだそうと決まったわけじゃないんだし。
Unable to fully deny the unpleasant possibility, Michiru's voice grows weaker and uncertain. Michiru's right. As long as we don't hear anything from the police or Sachi herself, we can't make any assumptions, and until then we need to do what we can. But the others are just fed up with hating around as I am. This is the words leaving my mouth, they leaning towards me with intent with expressions on their face. See their face? Again, they're worried about Sachi.
そうよね。そのためにもまずは状況を整理しましょう。
Starting from top. Sounds about right.
じゃあもう一度詳しく聞かせてほしいんだけど、ユージは昨日さっちゃんとどんなやり取りをしたの？
Yesterday's morning, Sachi and I agreed to continue the testing at 1 p.m. as usual. But I got called to my part-time job at the last minute. I told Sachi we rescheduled for 5 in the afternoon.
その時さっちゃんは何て言ってたの？
Say she might be a little late, asked if that would be alright.
少し遅れるか。教室には昨日から定期的に様子を見に行ってるけど、さすがに少しって時間じゃなくなってるわよ。そうね。
After that, she just confirmed that she'll be waiting in the usual place as of 5 p.m.
待ってるって言ったってことは、少なくとも教室に向かう意思はあるってことよね。そうなるけど。待って。
Sakaki abruptly interrupts Amane's word, her eyes flashing.
本当にいつもの場所は教室だったのかしら。
I see, that's just might be it.
どういうこと？
What? With that one sentence and one attention of this certain blood, instantly grasps what Sakaki is implying.
そう考えたら辻褄が合うかも。
Yeah, it's definitely coherent, but
ねえちょっと自分たちだけ納得してないで、私にも分かるように説明してください。いきなり土下座した。
adjective grew out of nowhere.
じゃあその役はスオさんに任せるわ。オッケー。
After accepting Sakaki's request with a mildly and separated nod, Amane sits up straight in her chair to explain.
ほら、みちるもさっちゃんがお願いや約束を絶対に守る子だってことは知ってるでしょ？もちろんよ。だから普通に考えてさっちゃんはユージと約束した場所で待ってるはずなのよ。でも教室にはいなかったわよ。
言ってみればそこがミソなのよさ。
ミソ？そう、ユージにとってはいつもの場所が教室だったかもしれないけど、さっちゃんにとっていつもの場所が教室だったとは限らないじゃない？
ああ、そっか。
At this point, Amane finally succeeds in shoving Ichiro's train of thoughts down the tracks of the boy everyone else past 5 minutes ago, prompting an overblown reaction. I didn't explicitly tell her to wait in the classroom. There's a possibility she went somewhere else entirely. Normally anyone would know I was referring to the classroom, but in such a case, a misunderstanding of some kind seems disturbingly plausible.
なるほどね。で、サチにとってのいつもの場所はどこになるの？
そこが問題ね。小峰さんが今も別の場所で待っていたとしても、その場所がわからなければ探しようがないわ。そっか。
To be honest, I don't know what she could thought I meant other than the classroom.
ねえ、お兄ちゃん、サチは他に何か言ってなかったのよ。
No, nothing else above the location anyway.
じゃあ、サチンと一緒にいたところを思い出すのよ。そこを全部回ればどこかにサチンがいるはずなのよさ。
I've been trying outside the school grounds. The only place that really comes to mind is shopping this day.
だとしたら、まだ見つからないのはおかしいのよさ。
Yeah. For one thing, I truly combed both the display shop proper and the commercial areas around the station.
となると、話は結局振り出しか。でも考えるべきことは分かったわ。
おうや、私
私も一生懸命頭を使って考えるのよさ。私だってそのつもりだけど、二人で行った場所ってことなら結局友人頼みになるわよね。
As if on kill all four turns their gazes towards me. Yeah, you are not wrong. I might be overlooked something here. I got to try to settle down and think this over as calmly as possible.
そうね、ずっとここでうなってるのが悪いのかもしれないし、ここは一度仕切り直した方がいいかもね。
Everyone has sense, so I might suggest that we temporarily suspend our meetings and attempt to break out of this spot. The girls thrust back on their respective rooms. Soon enough, I left alone on the lobby sofa, gazing blankly out the window. In the end, I threw myself right into the sofa without even taking the time to stand up and stretch my leg. The usual place is it. The usual modifying means there has to be somewhere she visits frequently. In contrast, some places I've been with her on a regular basis. No matter how many times I roll those locations through my head, the only places that fits the beers are inside the ground of this school. It's enough to make me realize just how limited our relationship is. Sachi and I have never really been more than a classmate. Our frequent interactions the result of simpler proximity inside this somewhat claustrophobic school. Not that any of that is an excuse. So I can't even track down a single classmate without my special eyes and ears. Thank God my master does not like to see this. She'll be hysterical. No, my master will say she will be angry at me before anything else. Anyway, that I was wasting my time thinking about this plot instead of the problem at the end. That's right, think. And the music stopped. If the general premises I'm working from is correct, there has to be something I'm missing here. This is the time I have hit a wall like this, and Asako taught me what to do at times like this. The concept of coincidence was invented by rapid romanticists as a pickup line. Listen up and listen good. Things happen the way they do for a reason. When none of it makes goddamn sense, stop bashing your head against the wall and take a step back. Let your mind go limp. Just like the proverbial bluebird of happiness, the answers shall be sitting in the surprisingly obvious place. Surprisingly obvious, compared to think of it, it feels like plenty of things have happened inside this birdcage of a school. To be perfectly honest, at first I just had her down as a weirdly diligent girl. After a while, I found out she has a surprisingly amusing side, and eventually I started getting genuine interest in what makes her tick. Sachi kind of resembled me. I thought might have been the biggest single reason for my uncharacteristic curiosity, but whatever the case, my little talks with her have been leaving a strong impression on me lately. Even so, there's just nothing here, nothing in those memories that stands out as an answer. Damn it! There is my eyes away from the dull grey skies. I glance around the lobby and out. I attempt to distract myself from this unproductive frustration. A bamboo broom crops out beside the entrance catches my eyes. Seeing that broom sit the idea is a proof enough that Sachi is not around. It never seems to leave her side when she's walking around the door.
自分が使う場所は綺麗だった方が嬉しいですから。
It's far more pleasant to find a place you use nice and clean after all. This has she made her work as a pseudo-maid sound like her midlife mission. Got to think of it, outside the classroom, Sachi's been wearing a uniform constantly since the way we met. Hold on, could I be making a pretty fundamental mistake in my assumptions here? For one thing, if I was wrong about something that basic, the field of possibilities grows significantly wider. And when I narrowed down those using the conditions I have been rolling around in my head all this time, all of a sudden I got a completely different candidate for the usual face. But I was sorry. If I'm right, but this one point in particular that seems completely inexplicable. Let's say we have reached the total debt, and otherwise I have no choice but to run with it.
あれ、ユージ、また外を探しに行くの？
Just as I rise into my feet, Mitchell reappeared in the lobby, probably stopping by to check up on me. Yeah, I think I may know where Sachi is.
あ、そうなんだ。って、あんた今なんて？
Like I said, I might have figured out the usual place Sachi was talking about. I'm going to head there to check away right now. Let the others know, will you?
ああ、うん。それくらいなら私にもできるけど。
Alright, I'm counting on you, Michiru.
あんたこそ気をつけて行きなさいよ。
Without pausing to glance under our raincoat, I rushed out of the door, sent out by Michiru's earnest words of concern. Not bothering to avoid the father in the pocket, however, I still seemingly minded away from the door. On the sit out in front of the common sense not to step out under in the middle of my room with way does it face me. More importantly, every second counts right now. The entire day has passed since Sachi went into 24 hours since she left the room. And she may have been waiting for me all this time, she may still be waiting even now. The festival sense of frustration set in squares to unbearable intensify. Intensity. Sachi.
これは自分でもどうしてなのかわからないのですが、風見さんに褒めてもらえると胃の上のあたりが温かくなるんです。私また風見さんの前で気を失ってしまったんですね。ご明察です。それに風見さんはカレーがお好きでしたよね。
Irony, after all the time going on in circles now, it's like a damn book. This is what I have to say, but the breakthrough was staring me in front of the face all along. Sachi gave me plenty of hints herself. When I look at this growing from every step, I make my way towards the other usual place. Nothing left to do but see if she's there. Where's the place? This place hasn't changed as much as I expected. What? As I expected. I mumbled to myself, feeling my way through vaguely familiar streets. Enduring a several hours train ride from Mishima Case, I returned to this place for the first time in many years. This is the town where I was born. In my earliest years, before my master took custody of me, I lived here with my parents and sisters. Never thought I'd be coming back here, much less looking for Sachi. The only constraint in life is its unpredictability. Slowly, my pace I moved carefully towards, guided only by faded memories. The usual place that came to mind when all reasonable answers failed was a small park. My one and only childhood playground situated on the outskirts of this town. Here we go. The others around the park is truthfully desert, and the street lights outside are dimmed to an absolute minimum. It's a small playground designed to give young children a place to roam around on sunny days, so that's all as expected. There's no way anybody would be using this playground on a miserable rainy event like this one. That would be a common sense conclusion, but
ほら、みちるもさっちゃんがお願いや約束を絶対に守る子だってことは知ってるでしょ。だから普通に考えて、さっちゃんはユージと約束した場所で待ってるはずなのよ。
I recall Amani's word from this morning. We all knew what Sachi was like. We knew she was bizarrely obedient. We knew she was prone to making strange mistakes as a result of several misunderstandings. But we all assumed those words were nothing more than a reflection of her diligent personality. We all assumed she would bend those rules of hers if it ever became fully necessary. That's exactly why I don't want her to be here. Much as I want to fight Sachi, those words spilled out of my mouth. And contradictory as it might seem, I really mean them. If Sachi is here, my initial concerns about her behaviors were justified. My very unease will become something far more concrete, far harder to face. Given any choice in the matter, I don't want that to happen. No, I can't afford to worry about that right now. Forcibly persuading myself to refocus on the problem at hand, I finally entered the park. And once inside that dim, desolated playgrounds, my eyes quickly find a small figure illuminated by moonlight. Sachi. The song. The swing sets a tiny thing made for the use of young children. Are you wet? It seems so. Crammed into the undersized wooden seats, indifferent to a rain-soaked cloth, Sachi looks up at me and smiles. Have you been waiting here since yesterday? Without even eating in the rain all this time? God damn it, it's too much for me to endure. She's just too pitiful right now. Before I know it, I'm shouting down at her.
どうしてでしょう。私、いきなり怒られてしまいました。
Of course I'm angry. Why? Did you realize I wasn't coming? Did you realize something was off? Why did you just leave? Why the hell did you stay here all this time just to keep some worthless promise? Oh, he's very angry.
それは、ゆうくんとの待ち合わせだからだよ。
You-kun? Nani? An intermediate tone, completely unlike the formal style of speech Sachi usually employs, and that vaguely embarrassing nickname. The combination resonates nostalgically with memories rendered fuzzy and indistinct by the passage of time.
ゆうくんこっちこっち次はあれで遊ぼうありがとうゆうくん
Wow! Sachi's words. The connections I'm drawing to have to be real. Why would you pick up the other people's trash?
だって次にこの場所で遊んだ時綺麗だった方が嬉しいでしょ
So my guess was correct after all. You and I didn't meet for the first time in the Mihama dormitory.
はい風見さんとは以前ここで遊んでいたことがあります
Sachi confirms my words casually, as if it was the most obvious thing in the world. Of course, her mere presence in this place is proof enough. Sachi, how long have you known?
最初にそうかもしれないと思ったのは転入してきた風見さんからお名前を聞いた時ですそれからいろいろお話ししていくうちにだんだんそうじゃないかなと思い始めていたのですが最終的にゆうくんだと気づいたのは風見さんが初めて私の頭を撫でてくれた時です
That was enough to convince you?
だって風見さんの手は私が大好きだったゆうくんと同じ温かさをしていましたから
Oh. In other words, Sachi realized some time ago and kept quiet until now. Then why did you say anything?
どうしてですか
I'm asking why you didn't tell me about this. If I know, I might have remembered this place much more quickly, right?
すみません風見さんが別の場所で待っているという考えは全くありませんでした
It didn't occur to you?
はい幼い頃の私と風見さんが待ち合わせていたのはいつもこの公園で逆を言えばここ以外の場所で遊んだことはありませんですから風見さんからいつもの場所と言われれば私にはこの場所しか思い浮かびませんでしたから
Are you serious?
はい
So many things happened so fast then. Back then, the details are still fuzzy for me, but Sachi's memories of the time we spent together don't seem to have faded, and this playground is clearly a very important place to her. But even so,
それに家と言われませんでしたから
I see. Come to think of it, Sachi's always been like this. Silently carry out her orders like a faithful robot, never express doubt or injecting her with her own opinion, never advising her own interests. The exceptions comes only when Sachi judges it strictly necessary. Even then, she's usually just seeking clarification. There's no longer any doubt in my mind. Those rules have to be with the very reason Sachi's end up in Mihama Academy. In other words, it's all exactly as I fear.
風見さんはどうしてそんなに悲しそうな顔をしているんですか
Because I have said, idiot, what are you?
そうですね私は嬉しいです
Happy?
はい待ち合わせ時間を考えたら遅刻かもしれませんがゆうくんはこうして来てくれましただから私はとても嬉しいです
As Sachi smiles out at me, I finally realize something. The other thing about this girl that truly resembles me is the way she smiles. An artificial thing, plastered on for the sake of lubricating social interactions, and attempt to put others at ease rather than a reflection of any real emotion. Maybe she's not lying, maybe she really is happy, but whatever the case, that smile is hollow. How many times have I seen this expression on her face, and I'm only realizing now? Pathetic. No, maybe it's not surprising I didn't notice. I managed to fool plenty of people the exact same way. It's a skill that develops with practice. そんな顔しないでください風見さん
風見さんはちゃんと約束を守ってくれました。だから今度は私がこうする番です。
Rising unsteadily to her feet, Sachi reaches out and brings her hand to rest on top of my head.
約束守ってくれてありがとう、ゆうくん。
Ah. In other words, I don't think this is what we call a childhood friend, but maybe it's sheer surprise. Maybe some part of me wants things to stay like this a little longer. I can't tell for sure. Whatever the case, my body's frozen in place under the gentle movements of that small hand. Don't tell me we have a scene here where let's run together. Or we say, let's go back to the academy. I think that's a way. Sachi, why are you?
勝手なことをしてすみません。でも私が最後にいつもの場所で遊ぶ約束をしたとき、ゆうくんはこの公園に来てくれませんでした。
I didn't.
はい。でもゆうくんは悪くありません。あの時の私は悪い子で、私が一方的に取り付けた約束でしたから、ゆうくんが来てくれなかったのも当然です。でも今回は違います。ちゃんと約束をした待ち合わせでした。だからそこにゆうくんが来てくれて、私本当に嬉しい。
What is Shiawase? I forgot already. Sachi! What? I catch Sachi in my arms as she collapsed forwards, the last of her strength gone. You're exhausted.
すみません、風見さん。今体を。
Nothing to apologize for, don't push yourself.
そう言っていただけると助かります。なぜか立ち上がろうとしても体に力が入らなくて。
Hardly surprising after sitting through that rainstorm without eating or drinking. Adequate estimate Sachi's been in this place 28 hours straight. And I'm willing to bet that she didn't even allow herself to take a nap the whole time she was waiting for me. No matter how sturdy this girl is, she must be well past the limits of her physical endurance by now.
ですが私はこれから風見さんとのテストの約束が。
You don't need to worry about that either. The only thing you promised me was to wait until I show up, and you keep that promise. You can rest now.
それならよかったです。
With those words and a particularly weak attempt at a smile, Sachi instantly falls unconscious. With a second, she gone totally, leaving me to bear her full weight in my arms. It's only then I realized just how unbelievably cold her body is. The girl's clearly in bad shape to the point that she needs medical attention and quickly. Even so, the expression on her face as she sleeps seems genuinely happy in a way that artificially smiles never was. I may be a pretty poor excuse for the human being, but maybe it's just because there's something I can do for this girl. You're a hell of a lot tougher than you look, Sachi. After brushing a few drops of rain onto Sachi's face, I pull out my cell phone and call me Chizuru.
待って、ゆうくん。どうしてもう一緒に遊べないの？私そんなのやだよ。せっかく仲良くなれて、これからもっとゆうくんと遊べると思ったのに。
Are we entering the flashback now? I mean the middle scene. Yes, we are entering the middle story, I guess.
それなのに突然お別れしなきゃいけないなんて。私明日も待ってるから。ゆうくんが来てくれるまで絶対いつもの場所で待ってるから。
Even after hearing Sachi's stories, this is about as much as I can remember. As children, we partly abruptly, our beginning friendship was cut off without warning. That must have happened when I was forced to move away after my sister's death. That much makes sense. But there's still one part of all this I can find completely inexplicable. I understand that Sachi has to be the same person who played with me as a child, but the girls in my memories were energetic and strong-willed. They seemed a little spoiled, even. The personality and the way of speaking were totally unlike Sachi I know today. Of course, many people actually change as they grow up, but I don't know of many transformations that dramatic. Something must have triggered such a radical shift. I do guess that something is connected to our conversation back then, but there's no way to know for sure until I learn more from about Sachi's past. But what necessarily happened over the last 2 days, I think that's become necessary.
屋上で星を眺めるなんて意外にロマンチストなところがあったのね。
Ah, Chizuru.
私は学園長室で待っててって言ったはずだけど。
Sorry, felt like getting some air.
そう。
Dropping the line of question, Chizuru walks out to stand at my side.
各種への連絡と病院での手続きは一通り済ませてきたわ。
Appreciate it. Sorry to push all the work on you.
それは私のセリフよ。学生の管理は私の仕事だし、小峰さんだってあなたが見つけてくれたんだから。
True enough.
それより、あなたは小峰さんのそばにいてあげなくてもいいの？
She got 4 dedicated nurses at the moment. I think she'll be alright.
それはそうだけど。でも、
Women don't let having men orgy them as they sleep, right?
まったく。こういう時に冗談が言えるのはあなたくらいのものだと思うわよ。
Blame my sister. I inherited it from her, but anyway, I...
他にやることができた。
Right. Remember what you told me a little while ago? How do you don't expect me to do anything particular for this school or its students?
ええ、確かにそう言ったわ。
I got a follow-up question.
何かしら。
Are you willing to let me get involved on a voluntary basis?
ええ、もちろん。
Good to know. Sounds almost like she was expecting this from the very start. Guess there's a reason she was able to get by sitting around and sipping expensive tea all day.
でもいいの？これは市ヶ谷の任務でもないし、あなたにとって何の得にもならないことかもしれないわよ。
No, but I didn't come to this school for your profit. You might say I'm here precisely because I wanted to do something more than that. Right, I wanted to understand the meaning of the words my masters left me.
なるほどね。
Also, in a way, I owe Sachi my life.
小峰さんが命の恩人？
Sachi and I knew each other as kids, and it's probably thanks to her that I managed to push my way through the worst of it.
驚いた。そんなことがあったなんて私も知らなかったわ。
Not surprising, I just remember a little while ago myself.
そう。
Blowing her hand from the fence, Chizuru turns to face me.
でも、そういう理由があったなら、小峰さんだったのは納得ね。
Circumstances aside, simple truth is, Sachi caught my interest as she is today.
惹かれたか。それなら、今度こそ小峰さんについての報告書を渡しましょうか。
Like I said before, that won't be necessary.
じゃあ、断ることができない小峰さんから聞き出す？
That's not it either.
だったら、
I will handle this my way. In this case, maybe it's a pointlessly roundabout methods, but I got by it with all this time, so I'm going to stick with what I know.
なるほど。不器用だけどまっすぐで、あなたらしい考えね。
Was that supposed to be a compliment?
さあ、どうかしらね。
Blatantly evading the question, Chizuru offers me a composed smile. Alright, think about it's time. I'm about to go. I get going.
何か必要になったら遠慮なく言ってくれていいから。
Okay. I count on you, Principal Tachibana. Well then, stepping outside from the school grounds, I retrieve my cell phone from my pocket. Calling JB? Even if it doesn't ultimately come down to asking for someone's help, I will stick to the matters I trust most. If I want to change something, to accomplish something meaningful, I think that's the way it has to be. Julia, I need a favor. Yes, this is the sound.
案外気持ちよさそうに寝てるわね。まったくあれだけ心配させておいてのんきなもんよ。
と見せかけてずっとこのままなんてオチは嫌なのよ。
あんたはさらっとなんてこと言うのよ。
それだけサッチンが心配なのよさ。
心配しなくても平気よ。看護師さんから話を聞いた限りでは疲れて眠っているだけらしいから。
それならよかったのよさ。
でもユージ、よくさっちゃんを見つけられたわよね。そういえばそうよね。
愛の力すげえな。
The power of love.
やっぱりそうなのかしら。
一番意外なところが食いついてきやがった。
大はないわ。ただ最近仲良くしていたみたいだし、本当にそういう力が働いたのかと思っただけよ。やめてユミコ、キャラかぶってる上にうまいから。うまいってか、多分榊さんのは天然だからね。私は諦めないわよ。うなぎだって天然物より美味しい養殖物だってあるんだから。
チルチル静かにしろよ。サッチンが起きちゃうのよさ。あんたが煽ったくせに。
それより本来の面会時間はとっくに過ぎているんだし、そろそろ戻った方がいいわ。そうね、着替えとかいろいろ用意しなくちゃいけないものもあるし。っていうか、ユージのバカはどこで何やってるのよ。俺はやることがあるってすぐどっかに行っちゃったからね。きっとその場に居合わせた人だからこそ分かったことがあるんでしょうね。こんな時までカッコつけなくてもいいのに。
でもそこが好きなんだよな。
うさい。ほらほら、本当にさっちゃん起きちゃうからそろそろおいとまするわよ。分かってるわよ。
じゃあサッチン、すぐに戻ってくるからそれまでいい子にしてるのよ。
And they're coming. So I'm here, my friend.
セーブするわ。
Thank you for watching my video. My video is just for fun. Don't take heart, brothers and sisters. Okay? Magic word time. Recurrent memory. Adios e famosa.